So I want you to be fair and objective to the extent that you can be, and tell me what was the best thing you saw in Nirmala Sitharaman's budget this year, and the worst thing or the most difficult, the decision that you disagreed with most.
The best and the only thing that can be welcomed is the income tax break she gave to 3 crore 20 lakh tax-paying income tax filers. On a selfish note, I'm one of them. So I welcome it. But that's only 3 crore 20 lakh. I think she forgot that India's population is about 143 crore. That's the worst thing. You remember 3 crore 20 lakhs is good, and the only thing that you can welcome, but you forget that India's population is 143 crore.
But the truth of the matter, Mr. Chidambaram, in a country of 1.4 billion people, you can't please everyone. So every budget will prioritize at that particular moment the group or the class they think will actually drive the economic engine forward. And Nirmala Sitharaman and her and the Modi government have taken a conscious bet on the fact that middle class savings could rise, savings could result in consumption, and thereby spur demand and growth. That's something that you and others have been arguing for a long time. We need demand-led growth.
No, we have never argued that. It's completely wrong economics. She says she'll put 1 lakh crore in the hands of the taxpayers.
Yes.
Good. But, as was pointed out by several writers yesterday and today, the 1 lakh crore will not go into consumption. In fact, one of the senior officials of the government has said, I think the Secretary Banking, he hopes that half of it goes into bank deposits. It can go into paying old debts. Every household is indebted. Even among the tax-paying class, they'll pay back old debts. They will travel abroad. They will consume imported goods. So what proportion of this 1 lakh crore will go into consumption of domestic goods and domestic services? Assuming all the 1 lakh crore goes to consume domestic goods and domestic services, it's still 0.3% crore will stimulate 324 lakh crore. Completely wrong economics. Show me any economist who will agree with you.
K.V. Subramaniam, former just a minute. K.V. Subramaniam, former economic advisor to this, chief economic advisor to this government, now executive director, IMF, writes, middle class savings are roughly 18%, and if we round it to 20%, it suggests that 80% of the amount will be spent. The consumption multiplier, which is the inverse of saving rate, is therefore about 5. Therefore, he says, we can anticipate a total increase in consumption of around 5 lakh crores, which represents around 2.7% of GDP. This is what he claims. And the truth of the matter is, Mr. Chidambaram, even in the past, you have advocated the need to spur demand.
Nobody says you should not spur demand. In fact, we are saying you must stimulate demand. But demand among the masses of the people. Do you know that the monthly per capita expenditure, average monthly per capita expenditure, released in December 24, we are only in February, is 4,122 rupees in rural areas and 6,996 rupees in urban areas. This is the average for the whole country. If you take the bottom half, it'll be much less. It'll be about 3,000 rupees in current prices and maybe 4,500 rupees for urban India. You have to stimulate demand among them. If the masses consume, it'll stimulate demand. I'm not saying this will not stimulate demand, but don't exaggerate it. Mr. Krishnamurthy may have said that. He is wrong. And that is why I believe he's the former chief economic advisor.
No, but let's be very clear, Mr. Chidambaram. The truth of the matter, as I said, during a budget, and you know this better than anyone else, you make choices. The government of the day has foregone about 1 lakh crore in revenue as a result of these tax cuts.
Yes.
On the other hand, you and others expect fiscal responsibility, expect the fiscal deficit to meet its targets. If, for example, as you're advocating the masses, those who are out of the tax net needed benefits so that they would also join this
You tell
consumption
me.
demand cycle, you would
let
have set
me-
a minimum income scheme, right?